Good afternoon, students. This is my 17th lecture regarding to the legal issues in e-commerce, and this is the last lecture from the module 3. After that, we will start from the module 4 from the security issues. I am Shouma Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor of Department of Information Technology, Narula Institute of Technology, JIS Group, and this is my 17th lecture and the last lecture from module 3. But after this lecture, that means from the 18th lecture, we will start from the security issues after this legal issues module. So let's start with some few criteria of the legal issues in e-commerce. So we already gone through the content that particular the cross-border e-commerce, the legal issues in e-commerce, identity management, jurisdiction, privacy and data protection, taxation and contract, IPR, online advertisement, consumer protection and liability. So these are already somehow discussed in the previous lectures. Now I would like to continue after the identity management, identity issue, legal issue, challenges and federated identity management. Working on identity management, there is jurisdiction, the several segment of jurisdiction, the necessity of jurisdiction, then the privacy and data protection, the Privacy Act, why privacy and data protection matters, the GDPR Act, the taxation portion, then the contract portion. In the previous lecture, we will start from the just contract portion, the IPR, the intellectual property right, and all those things, and the most of all the online advertisement, because it plays a major role in the e-commerce, and the liability. So we will start today from the liability portion. So here we can clearly see that since the internet knows no boundaries, the owner of a website could be confronted with legal liability for non-compliance or violation or laws of almost any country. So in each and every country, in every part of the world, these have some particular specified and generic cyber laws or e-commerce laws, and there are some legal issues also, by means of which the government or the authority and the concerned authority has just propagated through the particular way to implement this kind of issues like legal issues or any kind of legal contract. So the liability may arise through the website terms and condition. It could be depicted, it could be documented over the EULA, that is the end user license agreement. It could be depicted or it could be written over in terms of the terms and conditions. You already all know that suppose before going to any portal or before buying the any kind of online shopping portal, whenever we going to the payment option or add cart and then buy other option or any kind of transaction option, then there is a contract part, there is a huge and documented part written over the browser or over the web page about all the pros and cons and all the rules of that particular part. That is called the terms and condition regarding to the liability section of the e-commerce pillar. That is the legal issue. So the description and use of product, the laws of another country, or wrongful interference with the business, or wrongful defamation, or any kind of remark or action that may cause injury to others' property or one's property or the reputation. Like it could be a contractual liability, statutory liability, tortious liability, and the product liability. So there are different kind of liabilities are there, and we know that in each and every shopping portal or e-commerce portal there should be a page regarding to the terms and condition and like help and like fact, like frequently asked questions regarding to the issue, these issues. And with the advanced and increased use of online media or online business, we know that there is becoming a fast emerging trend. Okay, it's like a booming trend, and every 5 in 8 companies are operating online. So you can understand the statistics, how majorly, how increasingly the company has grown in this particular way and scenario, that every 5 out of 5 out of 8 sorry out of 8, 5 companies are operating online, conducting the e-commerce business through online portal or any kind of app, Android app or iOS app, any kind of app, mobile app. But being functional online doesn't mean you can escape legal matters, because it is a major issue. If we just if we just put the business or a virtual shopping or grocery shop, suppose a grocery shop, virtual grocery shop or online grocery shop, that doesn't mean that it just escape the legal issues, but we can't escape the legal issues in that matter. So there are various legal issues associated with the e-commerce business as well, and if these issues are not taken care of in time, they can lead to serious problems to anyone's business. So describes several problems are there. We already describe, or uh, we already conversed about that particular problem or the issues. Like one of those important problem is incorporation problem. But before going to the incorporation problem, I would like to tell you something, that suppose owners of a website should guard against the potential source of liability which could lead to legal claims against them. So it is much important to the seller, or to the owner, the business owner, or the online shopping portal owner, to implement all kind of liabilities, to implement all kind of rules and regulation, and to depict in a very user friendly way in that particular web page or the app. So that is one liability of that from the perspective of the seller. So we just talking of the way forward. Way forward means there are several issues are there. So I just there is no content, nothing. There is no content in the slide. I intentionally didn't put any kind of content in the slide, but just to understand, just to listen and watch and carefully observe this lecture regarding to the liability. After watching this or observing this video lecture, you can easily understand the what are the way forward issues of the legal issues and this liability section, because this is our last lecture regarding to the legal issues. That is the third module. After that we will starting from the security issues. Security issues means the cryptographical, there are several algorithms are there, cryptographical algorithms there cryptology are there are several cipher key, cipher text, the user and the receiver, and between that any kind of vulnerable activities could be protected, the vulnerable breach could be protected through these kind of security issues. So security issues is a very major important thing, and that plays a very major role in terms of the any kind of security issues or the intrusion or intruder's breach. Okay, so talking about the incorporation problem. What does the incorporation problem means regarding to the liability issue? And you just understand, all of you should understand that these legal issues and security issues are interdependent, are synced, are all over synchronized in their own way, because the legal issues is entirely dependent on security issues and security issues is dependent on the legal issues. So this is a vice versa and the mutual thing. So suppose if you are a company operated merely via website, not being incorporated is a crucial problem. Any purchase and selling activity related to your product will be considered illegal, and you can't claim your right in case of any fraud and corruption. Without incorporation, your business has no shelter. So we have to understand that before going to the online portal, before going to the make it public in the online or web platform or web periphery or any kind of app periphery, so we should, or the particular buyer should, incorporate his or her business to the legal issues through proper channel. And trademark security problem. What does the trademark security problem means? So these are not written in this slide or any lecture content, because you have to understand, you can write it over a copy after listening that, after watching that video or lecture. But you should always understand that you should understand the essence of the legal issues as well as the security issues. Okay, so after that way forward, there are several topics, there are several contents, but I am not going to the content. I just want to discuss several things regarding to the problem, right? The incorporation problem or trademark security problem, these are some legal issues problem. And that problem, if we overcome those problem, or if we prevent or documented this kind of problem in proper way, we dealt in proper way, then the success should become in any business, in any online business, and no legal issues or no legal harassment would be occur with respect to the buyer or the seller also. So suppose not getting the trademark protected is one of the main legal issues in the field of e-commerce, since we know the trademark is the company's logo or symbol, the representation of the business all over the web. So it must be protected. If we don't secure it, it won't take long before we will realize that our trademark is being infringed upon. So this is a very common legal issues and can become a deadly threat to the e-business or e-commerce. So with the perspective of the hackers on loose and cybercrime so common, trademark infringement of your business, and day by day if the business or the any kind of infringement and intrusion occurs through the hackers, so it could be a serious legal matter and may hinder the business progress. So another issue is obviously we could understand that that is entirely related to the legal issues, that is the trademark security problem, and one is copyright protection issue. So trademark and copyright are very much sync over among them. Okay, so copyright protection issue, what is that? So while publishing content for the e-commerce website using content of any other company can be severed a legal problem. So this might mark an end to the business. So there are many of websites or online sites which are royalty free and allow us to access their content and images. So we should use those sites for creating web content for the business site. Suppose after the creation of the site and after the business has been flourished in its own way after several days or several months or year, then if any kind of legal claim or trademark claim or copyright protection, copyright issue has been came over in the scenario, then it is very much hindering and very much there is some obstacle occurs during this kind of propagation. There is this kind of practice, because this could not be a good practice. So we should maintain and we should access or fetch or download and use those contents over those particular websites who were royalty free, and we should allow the access the content and images from those royalty free websites, and we may use those sites for creating web content. Even if we unintentionally used copyright protected content, then other party can easily sue a legal notice to the business or the person concerned. So another one is transaction issue. So the transaction issue is one of the most important issue that should be keep it in the mind of a business owner or the seller before going to the web access or before going to the web publicly, that his or her virtual shop. Okay, so this transaction issue should be taken care of very delicately. So suppose if a business fails to provide clear and complete description of the product, cost and purchase detail, and along with that the information about the delivery, that is when the customer will receive the product, and other information related to exchange, and obviously the one of the most important thing is the refund section or the payover section, we can say. So that should be the all criteria, like when the customer will receive the product, the purchase detail, the information, and the complete description of the product and cost. So if these all kinds of information are not clearly written over the website or any kind of important page or pop-up like thing, then it could be under the transaction issue, it could be under the law of the transaction issue. What is privacy issue? We know in this country, in this era of the time, privacy is a major important thing to be protected of, because nowadays more than the monetary or economical transaction, the privacy is the one of the most valuable thing, the data and the information. Suppose if we just while signing up or while login or while sign up in a particular web portal, if we just take all the data, all the unnecessary data, if we want to ask from the customer or the sign up first time sign up guys or persons, then it is not a good practice. It will be not a good practice, because all the data and all the things will be just taken over in the server, and the customer or the consumer may not be entertained that particular site, or should be avoided, because they could think that the data has been hacked, the data is not secured in that particular portal. So we should ensure the privacy and security also. I already say that particular legal issue and security issue are interrelated, are interconnected, because security is one of the major important thing, and it plays a key role in this kind of legal issues. With several cryptography and encryption algorithm, it just ensures the security portion. So apart from that, the privacy issue, whenever we just talk about the privacy issue, the when it comes to the online business, the privacy is the major issue. I just tell that can create problems both for the business and the customers both. So consumers share information with businesses online and they expect the sellers to keep their information confidential. That is the main psychology, that is the common general psychology from the perspective of the seller, the buyer. So if the buyer are having this much of faith and confidence that the information giving by them at the time of sign up the page or sign up the app, those all informations are kept confidential, then it will be well and good for the both the business holders and from the perspective of the buyer also, the seller and buyer both. But the consumers share information with business online and they expect the main expectation from the consumers or the customers are the sellers should keep their information confidential. By just one minor mistake and any kind of leakage of valuable information of the customer, so the particular buyer not only lose the potential of the customer but they lose the image and reputation of the entire organization or the entire online shopping portal. So there should be a question mark. So how could we ensure the privacy? How could we means here depict the buyer, how the organization or owner could ensure the privacy. Moreover, we will be subjected to serious legal problems if e-commerce businesses leads to exposure and advantages for businesses online, then it certainly has to be given rise to some legal issues that too can be avoided by keeping in mind. So we should always we should keep it in our mind, this kind of issues should not be occur, and if it would occur then it will be handled, it will be monitored and it will be addressed in a proper and delicate way, because it is a much desirable thing from the perspective of the consumers. Okay, so these are the several things, and the new and rapid expansion of cross-border e-commerce already discussed is impacting all countries and jurisdiction, so its management needs a globally innovative, inclusive, strategic and collaborative approach. It is the most important thing because it is related and it takes about the cross-border e-commerce. It is imperative that government and private sector ensure that the potential benefits are realized by working in partnership to ensure the facilitation of legitimate cross-border e-commerce trade, fair and efficient revenue collection, and the community protection also. So no matter whether enlarges the existing e-commerce or starts a brand new business in internet, the online entrepreneur or the owner must have a panoramic perspective over the legal framework and detailed look over the traditional and specific legal issues of the internet law. So he or she should well aware about that legal law. The creation of a website is neither the beginning nor the end of the chain of questions for the consideration and resolving. So we should or they should put a web page or a portion or section about the fact that is the frequently asked questions, and a terms and conditions section and a help section or a chatbot type thing that could answer and address the real time questions of the consumers or the query seekers. So the website is only the shop window of the business. So we have to be alert about the several issues, and the idea is to mark the main questions upon the startup or any kind of organizational business grow up regarding to the e-commerce. First of all, that is the domain name. We all know the choice of a domain name in the e-commerce is difficult process requiring assessment of many factors, except the consideration for association a domain with the name of a brand and meaning of the domain is the process in the website, and it could be leads to the optimization. So there are also legal aspects. We should understand that there are also legal aspects whose neglecting or ignorance can have serious consequences in the future. The chosen name or the concerned particular name must not be similar or like to the name of registered trademarks, especially of well-known trademarks. Suppose we have a there is a company called xyz.com, suppose xyz.com, and we just name it in the domain like xxyz.com, very similar to that, to be confused or to be getting the advantage of the already established organization or the established not organization, the online e-commerce portal. So this is called cyber squatting. This term is called in the legal issues is the cyber squatting. So in the internet, there are different databases where domains can be checked for a similarity with registered trademarks. On the website of the World Intellectual Property Organization, there is a website regarding to the World IPR, that is World Intellectual Property Organization IPO, can be found a public database facilitating searching into registered trademarks. The second was after the domain is the trademark and then is the website. Okay, the website. So we could understand the website thing. Okay, so what is the website? The well optimized and functional website, okay, with friendly user interface plays a key role for the success of the e-commerce. The contract for its creation should cover a wide range of legal issues. Firstly, the contract or the enclosed terms of references should set out clearly in details the company's requirements regarding the website functional and performance requirements, and in terms of whole visible content like the video, the image, music or text referred as components of design. Other important issues in the contract are clauses for test and warranty period for debugging, assigning rights and responsibility for the actions of subcontractors, if any there are subcontractors, and there is a provision for disclosure. There is a provision for disclosure of confidential information made known to the contractor in connection with the creation of the website. So clauses for warranties and liability for failure and other depending on the specifics of the contract, we should always know and always remember about this kind of issues. The first one is domain name. First one issue is the is the domain name. This is a major issue. Then regarding to the website, then the trademark, then it comes to the part of the rights of intellectual property. It's the rights of intellectual property that already discussed under the periphery of the contractual liability and statutory liability. So by creating an e-commerce website emerged a new object of intellectual property right, and all copyrights and related rights with regards to their use in the website must be clearly stipulated in the contract. So at the contract is or should be made in a particular way, in that way that all the things, all the pros and cons, all the terms and conditions are written step by step in a very smooth and user friendly manner, and there should be no loophole, no fallacy, and no complex word in the particular stipulated contract. So the owner of the website should receive right to use the website without restriction. Okay. So of course the owner or the buyer or the seller, the owner is the seller, and the organizational owner or seller of the website should receive right to use the website without restriction in time and scope to make changes in it. The right to update and improve website without limitations depending on the changing business needs and conditions. Last but not the least, the contract must provide warranty by the contractor or by the service provider that with the creation of the website no copyrights and other rights of the intellectual property of third parties are violated. Okay, so it is a major issue, the IPR right, the right of the IPR. Then the terms and condition portion, the T&C page, the terms and condition portion, or we can say the EULA agreement, the end user license agreement. So it required the information regarding to the e-commerce site must contain certain information that is expressly referred, okay, that is expressly referred to the law on consumer protection. These duties include providing information to the user regarding the name and address of the provider and general characteristics of the commodities, okay, and the services. So the price of the commodities or services, it comes under the liability section including all taxes and fees, and it is the liability of the seller, and it is the accountability of the seller. So the cost of the postal or transport charges which are not included in the price of the commodities or services related to their delivery, the cost of using a mean of communication from a distance when it is calculated in the particular way and different from the one indicated in the general tariff, the way of payment, delivery and the implementation of the contract, the right of the customer to withdraw from the contract and the conditions in which the commodity may be returned, and the period for which the particular offer or price shall be valid. That is the main important point. The period for the, because it varies upon different e-commerce site to site, so the period for which the particular offer or price shall be valid, the minimal duration of the contract for contracts of constant or periodical delivery of the commodities or services, that should be written in a very user friendly way and very simpler way, but all the points should be covered. So those sellers or those owners who not perform the legal obligation for providing required user information can be face very much kind of legal issues, and it depends the law, as per the region, as per the demographic area, and as per the constitution of several countries. So this is the liability, these are the liability of from the perspective of the seller or the owner of the particular online e-commerce portal. And another one is privacy and security. Already discussed that data protection is becoming increasingly important issue for the customers and the consumers in the e-commerce periphery. So collection and the storage of the personal data of the customer should be made lawfully. Yes, you can, or the particular seller or the owner can store the data, but it should be done in a lawfully manner, in a particular manner, and with the implementation of the adequate measures and modern technical resources for protection of the personal data to the consumer. So there should be a particular measures, protecting measures. So the law on personal data protection requires, this is the law regarding to the personal data protection. This name could be varied in several countries, several regions, even several states in a similar country, in a single country also. So the law on personal data protection requires the trader to be registered as a data administrator into the registered personal data and the government portal, and this is called the Personal Data Protection Commission. So in the government portal, the trader should register as a data administrator, and the law describes in details the obligations of the administrator of personal data and the vulnerable breach and the legal issues after the breaching of the personal data. So this is called the Privacy Data Act. And e-commerce websites must have a policy for personal data protection that is available and posted in a conspicuous place on the site, and it should be very easily to accessible for all the consumers and all the buyers. Whenever they just visit the site or the app, they should easily see that particular conspicuous place. But published rules for the protection of personal data must be drafted in compliance with the law. Always the organizational owner or the seller should remember that, or should follow this particular rule, that and the advised that published rules for the protection of personal data must be drafted in compliance with the law. Then comes to the online deals portion. Online deals are forming legally binding online agreements, consist of the following main elements: an offer, an acceptance, consideration, and a capacity to enter the contract. The enforceability of electronic contract generally requires sufficient notice of terms, particularly one term specifically brought to the attention, that sufficient opportunity of the user to consider terms and to decline it. The evidence of acceptance of terms that is sufficiently clear and positive as to demonstrate actual consent to be bounded by the terms. The absence of terms that are unconscionable or greatly unfair, and establishing the validity of an online transaction either by producing a document or record in writing or recording or retaining of the already necessary information and all necessary information in the electronic form are the two ways in which a documentary record can be established that a transaction has taken place between the consumer and the business. And last one is the return policy. The final term and condition, the liability, rather say the liability of the from the perspective of the seller or the organizational owner or the e-commerce site owner, is the return policy, because the law on the consumer protection which regulate the sales in e-commerce contains an unambiguous provision for the right of every consumer or customer to return the purchased goods within 7 days or any kind of stipulated time days, the variable days terms after the delivery. The law doesn't require the presence of defects or inconsistency in the good quality. Neither any reason for return has to be mentioned. The conditions upon which the right of return of goods purchased over the internet cannot be exercised by the user are explicitly listed. Okay, so it is explicitly listed in the law. In any other case, the entrepreneur or the startup holder should respect the legal right of the customer or the consumer and should accept back the purchased goods upon existence of the conditions for returning. So the legal framework for e-commerce is increasingly becoming complex even in one single jurisdiction. Things become more ad or complicated when you are facing simultaneously with hundreds of potentially applicable legislation, because we are entering agreement with customers or consumers located anywhere in the world. We have to accept that fact. So the internet provides many new sales and marketing opportunities, and online business must adapt to this changing commercial environment. So suppose this kind of environment, this kind of periphery, it is the e-commerce. It provides a new era in the selling, in the buying and marketing opportunities and online businesses. So it is a entirely new thing, new area. So we are now in the industrial revolution or the web revolution 5.0, and in this terms of revolution, the business intelligence part is a major part. If you just see, I just want to give an example. If we just see, suppose we are just login in a website or e-commerce portal, suppose Amazon or Flipkart, and just search over some goods, some products. So just search over some products, several products, not buying them. Okay, remember, just not buying them. And suppose after just going and searching the particular product, then it is just, it's a common practice. We are already maximum of all of us, maximum percentage of all of us just see the product but not buying it. Okay, but suppose after seeing that, if we just logged out from that particular online shopping portal, or not logged out, or particular all that time you should not logged out. Suppose if we logged out, just log out and just open a new tab on the browser and just open a mail like Gmail or Yahoo or any kind of other site, then you can clearly see within a moment in the right pane and the left pane or anywhere of the entire browser of that particular newly opened tab, that particular product that you are searching in, suppose in a few minutes ago in the online reputed online platform, online shopping portal, that particular product or the similar product will appear in the newly opened tab. So this is called the business intelligence or the business analytics. This is called the metadata tag. This fetches from the database, and the metadata tag fetches, and the user requirement, the user taste or the user pattern is to be just stored, and it is just trained in the particular way and intelligent. It is an intelligent business, that is called, it is business intelligence. So you can try. I think all of you are just experiencing the same like me also. Just open a online shopping portal, just searching for a product, not buying it, or you can buy it, it is up to you. Then just even searching it. Okay, just suppose I just search for a hard disk drive or any kind of pen drive or external drive, okay, storage drive. Then I just log out, or even I don't log out, or if we log out also, in both the cases, if I just open a newly opened tab in the next browser or the same browser, just open a mail or any kind of another site from regarding to the work, official work, then I can easily see that particular same category, the same product or similar product has been popped out or came in the right pane or the left pane of that particular newly opened tab. Okay, so these are the several futuristic things, and this business intelligence will grow day by day. And because of this particular situation we are facing right now in all over the world, the online transaction, the e-commerce has to be flourished in a boom. Okay, so these are several legal issues we are just practicing. So I just end this kind of this particular module, and from the next lecture, that is from the 18th lecture, we will start from the security issues, and that particular part we would just start from the RSA algorithm, the what is cryptography, what is cryptology, what is public key, private key, cipher text. Okay, so those kind of interesting things are there. So stay safe and stay home and study well. Okay, and I just end the lecture for this time being. Okay, thank you.